Hello everyone. Welcome back to Friday with Dannphan. How's everyone doing this lovely Friday? I hope it's been a good week for you guys. Let me just get some water to start off this stream. As usual, I have sprayed water all over myself. Bad luck with liquids. So, who do we got in the chat? We got Brian, Matthew, and Gabe to start off. Hey everybody! What's up? What's the haps on the crabs? I've never heard that before. I took the day off so I could lend my stepmom my car, spent a part of my day hanging out at the community pool until she got back. That sounds like a nice, relaxing way to spend your day. That sounds nice, yeah. It's actually, it's not too bad of weather outside, so I took the opportunity to go on a walk. But other than that, it's been, like, super storming out there. This is just, like, the eye of the storm, I guess. It's usually 90% of the time raining, but you know how it is. Especially during the spring, you get those spring rains where it's like super heavy rain one minute and then the next minute it's sunny outside. Terrible, terrible. So, I didn't get to upload the video that I mentioned last Friday stream because I didn't realize that, like, Try Treats sent me another snack box, and so I had to, like, do that this week instead. But that's fine, that's okay. The snack videos are more casual, I guess. I'll get to finishing up that other video this weekend, though. I gotta do a lot of things this weekend. But hey, next weekend we get to look forward to Garden State Comic Fest. That'll be fun. I got a couple other things that I want to do for Garden State Comic Fest. Got two other original art pieces I'd like to finish up. Just to have stuff. Just to have original art pieces there. But I have to actually, like, finish. Right now I've got one that's just like a rough sketch, and then I got one that's just a concept in my head. And you know how it is. Art can be tricky. It can take time. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week overall. Sometimes the weeks just fly by way too quick, and this has been one of those weeks. It felt like it flew by super fast. Not too long ago, me and Adam on the gaming channel were streaming the what do they call it? It's not like the beta testing of the game, but it's like an early release for a short amount of time, and then they continue working on it. Whatever that's called. We were doing the new Vindictus game, Defying Fate. They had like one of those early releases of that, but you could only play it for a short amount of time until it was taken off. And so that has been interesting. It inspired me to go back to the original Vindictus game and actually play through the story of that. And it's a lot easier than I remember it being. Like, I basically flew through most of the story in 2 days, which is quite something. Granted, the whole skip button helped it with that, because there's a lot of text, as you can imagine, but goddamn. So, yeah, me and Adam have been playing some Vindictus every now and then. Yeah, that is called beta testing. Is it though? I thought it has like no, it's a specific term that I'm looking for, where they release, they don't release like a demo of the game. It's not a demo. It's like you can play through as much of the game as you want, but it'll only be up for a short amount of time, so they're not expecting you to be able to actually beat the game. I just don't know what it's called. It's like a alpha or something. I don't know. It's some weird term that I had never heard before this game. I also saw earlier the there was it looked like a new trailer for Code Vein 2. I didn't get to watch it though, because I was trying to finish up some other work before I got on stream, and I didn't finish the work, which is kind of frustrating. But the reason why I didn't finish the work is not my fault. It's because I've been having this issue with Clip Studio recently, where it's freezing and it's crashing, but only when I edit text. Just something about text in Clip Studio is making it freak out. And I don't know what the issue is, but it's frustrating. I'm sure that it is a new version of Clip Studio that is the issue here, because every single time, you know, I downgrade Clip Studio when there's a problem, and then people are like, oh no, they fixed that problem, you should upgrade it again. And then I upgrade it again, and then I find a new problem. Every single time it happens. Debloat your PC? No. Trust me, there is not a lot of bloat on this PC. There is a 0% bloat. I keep it as clean as possible. It's freezing, you should put on a hoodie. Yeah. What is the stuff behind you in the background? I know, are you excited about Jurassic World Rebirth coming out? No. I'm not a Jurassic Park fan, gotta be honest. In general, you know, I don't typically like horror stuff, but I like the first half of Jurassic Park. Before everyone starts dying. That part was great. Oh man. Traumatized me as a kid. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in the background here. So we got manga over here. We got Treading Water, Slaying the Ride Valley, some 3D printed stuff here. Couple figurines actually. We got many assortment of posters. Crusade, Frank Rizza, Reaper, Horizon Quest poster number 1, number 2. They've got the Marvel Venom that me and Adam took in a photo booth at Marvel Land or whatever it's called in Universal. But yeah, you would be surprised what you need to turn off to make Windows work properly. So many hidden stuff from Microsoft, what makes your games crash, etc. Yeah, well, I have a separate computer for gaming, but no, I totally get it. Windows is really shitty nowadays. We do have great aspirations in the future to switch to Linux. It's just that we have a lot on our plate right now, you know? It's one of those future projects to dedicate your time to. But there's a lot of issues we gotta take care of first. Young Pauline. I don't know what you're referring to. I like how the Jurassic Park novels have a good amount of gore. It fits in a dinosaur story, in my opinion. I don't know. I guess I haven't read too many dinosaur stories. So, I guess it's just maybe dinosaurs just aren't my thing entirely. I have like 10 to 15 regular files to turn off stuff in Windows. Damn, it's a lot. Talking about the stuff that will be in the oh, you're talking about Donkey Kong. Yeah, I'm not really. I didn't see the. I know that the Switch 2 is coming out, and there were a bunch of like announcements there, but I didn't actually watch it. I know, I'm very specific in the stuff that I'm actually looking forward to. I very rarely keep up with the, like, I guess for lack of a better term, popular stuff. I'm talking about Vindictus Defying Fate and like Code Vein 2. There's this other game too, but I already forgot the name of it. But yeah. I mentioned it before, I don't actually play a lot of games. The games that I do play tend to be very specific. And then there's just a lot on my backlog that I know of, I know exist, I want to play them at some point, but I just haven't actually sat down and gone through them all. Like I started the Devil May Cry series, and I've streamed a bit of the first game on the Dannphan's channel, but I haven't finished it, and I can't finish it because now I have to wait to stream it to finish it. You know what I mean? Because like once you start like a stream series of playing Devil May Cry, it only makes sense that you should wait until you're streaming again to continue playing it. It's the same thing with Kazan. Adam started Kazan, or Kazan, or however you're supposed to say it. And we've basically been waiting to stream again and be in the mood to play it again to finish that game. But it looks good, and we're excited to play more of it. Just haven't gotten around to it. I'm looking forward to Code Vein 2. Really enjoyed the first one. I did too! You know, I enjoyed the first one as well. It wasn't perfect by any means. There were issues with it, but I did enjoy the story. And I like a lot of the combat mechanics, which might be like another complaint other people had, but I didn't mind the combat so much. Especially for someone who just started getting into Souls-likes through Code Vein. I thought it was like a pretty decent normie intro into combat. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the first game. I think the maps could improve in the second game. They are saying they're making grand promises that they've taken a lot of feedback from the first game and that the second game is going to be much better. They came out saying that right out of the gate, that they're taking feedback and they're gonna improve the Code Vein experience. And I'd really like to see what gets improved and where we're going with it. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of games in my old backlog as well. Been making a point of seeking out games I've never had a chance to play as a kid. Yeah, same, especially the classics, right? You gotta play the ones that people have this huge attachment to. So you gotta see what all the hubbub's about. It makes sense. What is Code Vein? Is it a fighting game or RPG? It's like an action-based RPG. Yeah, it's a Souls-like, essentially. So if you're thinking like Dark Souls, you're kinda in the same ballpark. Of course, it doesn't have the connecting maps like Dark Souls has, and the combat is a little different. But overall, it's it's similar enough to call it a Souls-like, anyway. So, I guess, should we get into news? I feel like I had something that I wanted to talk about. You know, I'm a little bit behind on finishing the next chapter for Reaper Book 2, but I'm thinking since Subscribestar only lets you post like a certain amount of images at a time, I'll probably have to post the chapter in split parts anyway. So I might as well like post part of the chapter that I have finished now, and then finish the rest later. I think that would probably be fine. So long as like something is being posted, it's better than nothing. Especially because I have to like figure out some stuff for Garden State Comic Fest. It makes a little bit more sense to not try to rush through finishing everything immediately, and instead focus a little bit more on doing it right. Hello Kitty Island Adventures, what I'm playing, sounds awesome. Might want to try X-Men Children of the Atom with Psylocke at some point. What do you think of Sesame Street going to Netflix? And do you think Jim Henson Company should buy back the Muppets from Disney too? Those are very specific questions. I kind of don't care where Sesame Street goes. I mean, like, it seems like one of those properties that's just kind of doomed to be passed around everywhere. Kind of the same thing with the Muppets. It just seems like it's doomed to constantly be passed around to different people to own it. Do I think Netflix is gonna do anything good with Sesame Street? No, not really. But it's not like I watch it either. I watched it when I was a kid, sure, but, you know. And, I haven't watched the Muppets in a really long time either. I think the last time I've seen something from the Muppets was one of the movies. Maybe like the second movie? Or maybe, I don't remember when the Muppets Christmas Carol came out, but I guess I watched that one too. Been addicted to playing RimWorld and Rain World. Yeah, Adam plays some RimWorld occasionally. I don't trust Netflix with anything. I have that same mindset, honestly. It seems like Netflix has a tendency to take very particular IP and then to ruin very particular IP. Dear Lord. But Sesame Street and Netflix sounds quite cursed. They're probably gonna keep, like, all the team mostly the same, but just, like, post new episodes there. It's funny, though, because Netflix doesn't strike me as a particular company that wants to reach kid audiences more. They come off to me as a company that's desperately trying to get more teen audiences. So it's a little bit surprising that they would be looking for more kids content. But that's about it. Can we see you without glasses for a second? What do you think, I'm hiding my ethereal eyes from you? Muppets Christmas Carol came out in 1992. That's my all-time favorite Muppets movie. Are you still excited about new Powerpuff Girls series by Craig McCracken happening too? It's hard to say, you know, I'm kind of 50-50 on that. Because, like, the reboot Powerpuff Girls was obviously awful, right? And then the live-action Powerpuff Girls, thank God it was cancelled. Live-action Powerpuff Girls could have been good, but obviously that's not what it ended up being, and it got cancelled for that exact reasoning. But it's also, like, the last thing that I saw from Craig McCracken I didn't really like. I didn't like Kid Cosmic that much, and it kind of deflated a lot of excitement that I had for his work. So it could be very good, but it all depends. It depends on if he gets good writers on board, if that passion is still, like, in him to write it well. Who knows? I don't know if they have a release date or what's happening with that. But I guess we'll just keep our ears open and see where that's headed. But hey, you guys see the King of the Hill? The King of the Hill reboot trailers that they've been sharing around? Those have actually looked pretty good. I mean, not animation-wise. The animation is a downgrade, but you gotta expect that from Hulu. Hulu original shows are not known for good animation. They're known for the exact opposite. Oh my god, Hulu original shows. Have you seen any other Hulu original shows besides... Oh, it's not coming up. I swear, they're like usually... Okay. Alright. Search engine no work anymore. But, yeah, they're not known for good animation is my point. However, the writing seems kind of on par with what I would expect from the original King of the Hill. To some extent, I get a little bit sad whenever I see a reboot or a continuation of a IP, and then the characters are all old, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see them all old now. But if they do if they're doing some character development there, and they're like actually progressing the story and having new adventures, I feel like I can get behind this. And you know, I enjoyed the two bits, the two trailers, really they're more like teasers, that they released so far for the King of the Hill revival. I think it looks pretty good so far. So I'm holding out hope that it is going to be good, that it is going to be as good as the original. I'm not holding out hope so much that it'll be better than the original. I don't have that much faith, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be on par. People really liked the Beavis and Butthead revival when that came out, and it's like the same creators. So maybe they understand the assignment and they know what to do. Let's see as we continue. Oh, thank you for the donation, Matthew. What real-life actor would you cast to play your main character in Reaper? Ugh, you know, that's a tough question, because honestly, I don't really think in terms of live action when I'm making my characters. I'm more so thinking, like, in terms of animation. I have cartoon brain. So, yeah, that is tough. And I also don't really know a lot of actors in general. But I guess it'd have to be like someone with black hair in their early 20s. Good looking, I don't know. That's a tough question. That's too tough. I have to do my research to come back to you on that one. Let's see, the knight behind you looks like the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Are you a fan of Monty Python and Beavis and Butthead at all too? Monty Python is a classic for sure. Used to watch it with my dad. Beavis and Butthead I didn't really latch onto as much as a lot of other people did. Not that it's not funny, it is very funny, but you know, it's just something about the type of humor. I can't sit down and watch it for a really long time. King of the Hill I latched onto a lot more, and I think it has to do with the pacing and the storytelling. Not that every single episode is a banger. There are some episodes that I don't like, but the ones that I really like really stand out as like the golden example of King of the Hill. And yeah. I've seen the trailer, curious to see how it goes. I'm not gonna hold it high in regards. Yeah, you know, that's fair. Set your standards accordingly. Dale looks exactly the same, but everyone else looks older. Yeah, maybe a little. Let me try to catch up with chat. I'm cautiously optimistic. Feeling it. Yeah, feeling the same. Powerpuff Girls already got an anime. That's more than enough. Yeah, that's more than most. You know, I've only seen like maybe the first episode of the anime. I haven't watched the whole thing. A lot of people really like it though. What anime voice actor then? I've already cast a voice actor for Ichabod before. I did Jordan, the same voice actor for Stark from Frieren in the trailer. Well, I guess, could I call it a motion comic? There's not like a whole lot of fancy motion, but there is motion. So there was a motion comic trailer that I did for Reaper when the campaign was going, and I cast the voice actor for Stark, and I was excited about that. I think he did a good job with the lines. So yeah, I think I would lock in that answer. Assuming, of course, he was interested. We'll see when the Reaper anime gets announced. Way in the future, I'm sure. Powerpuff Girl anime is so boring, I wanted to like it. It is definitely different. Like, for example, they're not sisters who have always had superpowers. It's more so like they're shot with some generic radiation. They're shot with Z rays. Is that what it is? That's why it's called Powerpuff Girls Z. Because they're shot by some sort of radiation rays, and that's what gives them the superpowers, which is a little bit more generic than what Craig McCracken was originally going for, where it's like they were created with the superpowers. But yeah, it's definitely aiming for a different audience with making them... They're not in preschool anymore. But I'm not sure if they're in high school either. Are they in middle school in the anime version? It's some age in the general teens that I just can't really quite decipher. They're either in high school or middle school. It's gotta be one of those. But yeah, it does have that that setup that I like, where it's, you know, average high schooler going to school but then doing superhero stuff on the side and trying to juggle their personal life with their superhero life. I do enjoy that. I like seeing that in shows. But I watched the first episode and something about it just didn't really hook me as much as I wanted to be immediately hooked. So I just didn't continue watching it. But I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the first episode or anything. I just didn't continue indulging in it so much. I guess speaking of anime, one of the anime that I recently finished up, or at least I think it's done, because it definitely felt like a final episode when I watched it yesterday, it was Catch Me at the Ballpark. That was a very okay anime. It was very just on the line of, yes, I am okay with the fact that this exists, but it did not move me in any way. But it's all right, you know? Very interesting concept, though. It is like kind of unique and innovative in a way, but it's just kind of okay, you know? So I was curious about whether or not I should do a video on it, because it has like kind of a unique synopsis, I guess, with it being like this baseball anime but not being a sports anime. It's just about people who work in the stadium, including the baseball players, but not really being about them playing. It's kind of interesting, and there is like a topic of discussion to be had there about slice of life anime like this and the message that it's trying to put up there, because essentially the message is, no matter what your job is, you should be equally as respected for doing your job well, which is something I guess a lot more common to expect in Japan, is that no matter what job you have, you're to be equally respected. Whereas there's a lot of other places in the world that have sort of a classist view, like, oh, well, if you have this particular job, you're beneath me, and I don't respect you, etc., etc. But, you know, I could do a video, like, kind of talking a little bit more about that. But at the same time, it's like kind of a kind of a generic anime, gotta be brutally honest with you. Kind of generally generic, but it's got that nice theme to it. It's generally also like a soul healing type of slice of life. It's got a killer ending credits scene. The ending credits is very good. Very good. Just because they're using this special kind of like animation for the dance that I really enjoy watching. It's saturated to all hell, but I like what they were going for. They had style in that ending credits. They had real style. But yeah, you know, I don't know if people are as interested in that anime as they would be if I covered another anime. So it's always really difficult to decide whether or not I should do a video about like an anime I watched recently, because I have to juggle with these thoughts of, well, will anyone care if I talk about this? Let's see. You ever watch X-Men Evolution? Yes. Yes, that is actually Adam's favorite X-Men show. That's the one that really got him into the X-Men when he was growing up. And we watched some of it together. And it is pretty good. It's pretty good. It does have the thing that I like, where it's superheroes going to school and then doing the superhero stuff on the side. And it's pretty well written, all things considered. But yeah. Maybe with another anime in the same video, they'd check it out. Maybe, like do like a weekly or monthly or just random anime reviews. I'd just title it like Random Anime I Watched This Month. I'm not really quite sure. I don't know how to do anime review type content. It seems like a lot of anime reviewers on YouTube are doing all kinds of different things to try to pull in viewers. But generally what I've seen work is just titling the video something really vague and then just putting some like screenshot from the anime, perhaps a saucy screenshot, and then you just hope that people click on it because they want answers, so they need to click on your video to watch it. That's usually what I see work on YouTube. It's just the same clickbait tactics as what worked 20 years ago. It's just still working now. Yeah, some things never change. What can you say? Least favorite X-Men adaptation, Wolverine and the X-Men. I haven't seen that one. What's your favorite X-Men, by the way? Well, when I was growing up, Storm was my favorite X-Men, specifically because we had, like, my first introduction to the X-Men was an X-Men video game that we had, I think, on the Genesis? It's hard to remember, but we only had, like, a handful of game consoles growing up. There was some X-Men fighting game that we used to play, and I used to love picking Storm because I thought like a lot of the moves that I could actually successfully do on the controller looked cool. I was like, yeah, I can summon fucking clouds and shit, and lightning, and you know. So I really enjoyed that, and I was like, yeah, Storm's the best character. She can do lightning attack. That was essentially my logic. The same logic I used for Mortal Kombat. It's just, he can shoot lightning, best character. This other guy, he can't shoot lightning. This is the worst character, he sucks. If he could shoot lightning, though. But yeah, looking back at it today, who would I say is my favorite character? I don't even know. Yeah, Raiden, that's right. But best character is Colossus. But what about Rogue? And one anime uses The Great Pretender as its ending theme that was really awesome. It's an anime about cats. Anime about cats. There's a lot of anime involving cats, I'm not sure. Yeah, Rogue is cool. I think Rogue is a very sympathetic character. In X-Men Evolution, they also make her kind of goth, which I think definitely appeals to certain crowds of people. Oh, man. There's like a whole army of young men who grew up with all these like vaguely goth characters in cartoon media, and they grew up like, I need a goth girlfriend. Those were the days, huh? But yeah. Nightcrawler's good too. Yeah. He's good. It's rough because the only version of him that like you see in human form is basically, I think, in just X-Men Evolution. And I always was like super confused because I thought in X-Men Evolution he looked Asian. And then I was like, why does he have a German accent if he's supposed to be Asian? That's weird. But he's German, so like, what's going on there? Why does he look Asian? I don't know. It's just something about the art style, I guess. Or maybe they're trying to be extra sneaky, like, oh man, they'll never figure out that this is actually Nightcrawler. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see. Wolverine and Rogue were my faves in the 90s cartoon. Also liked playing Omega Red in Capcom's X-Men Children of the Atom game. Hex Girls' favorite band. I remember seeing that Scooby-Doo movie when it first came out. I didn't really like the movie that much, but I did like the Hex Girls. They had style and they had some good beats. You know, that really was the highlight of that Scooby-Doo movie. Everything else was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, vampire mystery, whatever. But the Hex Girls, you know, they were cooking with that song. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was a long musical sequence too. They like basically did a full music video in the middle of a Scooby-Doo movie. Very funny. Kurt never has had a human form. Yeah, but he did in X-Men Evolution. That's what I was talking about. So, like, in X-Men Evolution, they have everybody going to school, but they have to keep in secret that they're mutants. So they gave him a watch that creates this hologram around him that makes him appear like he's human, even though he's still blue and he's still got the 3 fingers and whatnot. But he looks like he's a normal human. And just how they designed his human form, I thought that he looked Asian, so I was very confused. But that was just my point. Hey, thanks for the 10, Mark. Hey, Dannphan, are you at the Garden Con thingy both days next week? Yes, Garden State Comic Fest. That's it. I was gonna say Comic Con, but it's Garden State Comic Fest, and it's gonna be Saturday and Sunday. I'll have a table. I don't know where exactly my table is going to be yet, but I assume they're gonna send out a map soon and get that squared away. That's coming up soon, next weekend. That's gonna be very fun. Vampire? No, there were witches in that movie. Yeah, but the Hex Girls were like vampires, right? They had the fangs, and everyone was like, yeah, they're vampires or whatever, and they hissed and shit. It's just how their aesthetic was. Yes, you gotta watch the Mega Hologram Forum. That's right. Are you a fan of Freddie Mercury at all? And Queen? No, not really so much. The The type of music that I listen to the most, Adam jokingly calls music. It's very like early 2000s style stuff. I like Star Set, you know, those Star Set, let's go. I still listen to 3 Days Grace. They still rocking it. You hear their new album? They pulled out a banger. Oh man. I also enjoy some power metal. Some power metal's pretty good, you know? Swear there was a bunch of stuff I saw growing up that somehow still lingers in my mind, one reason or another. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, what you see when you're young, it really does imprint on you. Because you're in a stage where you're learning about the world. And not that you ever stop learning, of course, you know, even as an adult, you're still learning. But it's not information that is nearly as crucial as when you're younger. Because basically, when you're younger, you're shaping reality around you. So what you see really does have a bigger impact on you and how you see everything. But yeah. What is your opinion on opening of Rideback Anime? I've never seen it, so I don't know. Never heard of Rideback. You're also Rideback. Not sure. I've been watching the Anne Shirley anime as well. It's okay. It's been pretty good. I think the pacing is a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of story to like get through and try to condense. Because the actual Anne of Green Gables book is like super dense with story, actually. But it's been pretty sweet. I dig the wholesome anime. I run almost entirely on wholesome anime. It's all I got in life. Let's see. I was down. Sad because she had no screen time. Haven't finished Rideback Anime. Rideback is good stuff, very watchable. Maybe I'll look it up. Let me see. Rideback. Oh, well, I gotta be more specific. Rideback Anime? Oh, wow. Well, this certainly has some style to it. It's like mech motorcycles that we got going on here. It looks very interesting. Yeah, maybe I should check this out then. I do have more anime DVDs that I'm supposed to review. One of them, however, I'm like stuck on. It's been like so... it's so difficult to like get myself to keep on watching it because it's not even the reason that you think it is. Like, the story itself is like fine, kind of generic, not super exciting, but like fine. It's the soundtrack. The soundtrack is the problem. And this is the first time I have ever encountered an anime that is almost entirely ruined by the soundtrack. You'll understand one day. You'll understand when I actually get to my next thrift store anime review. You'll know exactly what I mean. But first I have to actually finish it. I do have to finish it. I don't even have that many episodes to watch. There's only 5 episodes on the DVD, and I've watched 2. I only have 3 more episodes to go, and it's just... I gotta finish. Ever see the original Trigun anime? I've seen some of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I have seen some of it. It's another one of those classic ones that everybody references. I grew up with the not X-Men and legally distinct show Mutant X. 99% chance no one else has ever heard of it. Not X-Men cartoon Wildcats. Mutant X. Mutant X. Let's see what comes up. Oh, hey. Oh my god! This has some style to it. Hang on. I forgot to actually share my screen. Here we go, huh? This has some style to it. This looks very early 2000s. You can immediately tell, looking at it, that this is some early 2000s show. Okay, so this is about... Is this creating mutants? So they were given the superpower? Oh my god, that's terrifying. They have a CGI computer person in there. Oh, man. The old school special effects, dude! This is amazing! Now I gotta watch this. ADV Films. Oh, I see. The not X-Men. They're floating. Oh my god. This, even without the sound, this is so good. Let me read the description though. A fugitive geneticist and 4 of his creations search for others of their kind while attempting to stay a step ahead of a morally ambiguous government agent. What? This is barely a description. Okay, alright, whatever. So they're looking for other mutants. So I assume every, like, episode they meet a new mutant and solve a problem. And then morally ambiguous government agent. I just assume that means they thought that he was a villain trying to capture them, but then in the end it turns out he's actually a good guy or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not given a lot to go off of with that description. But holy crap. That is such a vibe looking at something like this. Oh man. What a treat the early 2000s was. What an absolute treat. Wildcats, they got invincible power? I don't know. I guess I should look up Wildcats next. But I feel like I've heard of Wildcats before. That's the first time I've heard of Mutant X. Okay, Wildcats film comes up. Yeah, this is not... Okay, so it's not even really coming up. It's just showing me football stuff. I guess that one is more obscure, if it won't even come up on a search engine. There's an X-Men type of show from the Sci-Fi Channel. Oh my god, there were so many interesting knockoffs they went for on the Sci-Fi Channel. What a treat. It's called Alphas. Was pretty good from what I remembered. Alright, let's see. Alphas. Show. Okay. We got Alphas here. Oh my god. Alone they are powerful. Look at them. Together they are extraordinary. Oh, fuck. Impossible. I'm not seeing any superpowers, though. Okay, so he jumped out. But they didn't show us any superpowers. They just showed them shooting a bunch of guns. I can do that! Superpowered individuals known as alphas, led by noted neurologists and psychologists. They investigate criminal cases. Okay. So this is a little bit more like superhero team-esque, but like also investigating. I kind of like that. It's kind of like a team of Batmans. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, I can see that being a good show. Wildcats is what they were talking about? Yeah, I guess so. Why is Dark Angel censored? I have no idea. Let's see, we still got like 5 more minutes left on Friday with Dannphan, guys. Roughly about 5 more minutes anyways. So, do I have anything to announce? I feel like there was something I should have said, but it's not really coming to me. All I can think as far as announcements go is the next chapter of Reaper Book 2 will be posted on Subscribestar soon, so if you are joined to the fan club, you have something to look forward to. Oh, thank you for the 10, Drav Forge. I just noticed that. Thanks, my dude. Okay, so that was one announcement. the Reaper, the next chapter of Reaper Book 2 is coming out on Subscribestar soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. The second announcement is that we have Garden State Comic Fest coming up next weekend. And that's going to be a big one, so that's going to be very fun. If you're going to be at Garden State Comic Fest, by all means, feel free to stop by the table and just say hi. Yes. And I think it was just those two announcements, and I think that was it. I think that was about it. So, if there's any ending thoughts you'd like me to discuss, any questions, yeah, I guess a third announcement is that I'll try to get a new video up next week as well. I need to finish up the video that I mentioned I was going to do last stream, but didn't because I'm a bad. It's the real or fake DC YA challenge. It's going to be a funny one, so you'll want to see that video when it comes out. I'll do my best to get that edited this weekend and hopefully be out by Wednesday. Another thing to keep your eyes open and searching for. Yeah, I got censored? I don't know, because YouTube will just randomly take stuff out of top chat. And then when you switch to live chat, it gets through, I think. But I don't really know how YouTube censorship works in chat, honestly. Because I remember we had this Dannphan stream, right? And somebody commented something about Man Bear Pig, and they got censored for that, for Man Bear Pig, right? Because they were talking about global warming, right? And they were there's the South Park joke about, like, global warming being like Man Bear Pig. But for some reason that got taken off of top chat, but they could see it in live chat. So I think YouTube censorship works something like that, where they'll take off things that they think are offensive based on, I don't know, based on something. And I think they leave it in live chat. I'm not 100% sure. It's also extra confusing because YouTube is constantly changing its rules and how it works. But it's all AI censorship now? Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Have you watched Disney's The Owl House? No. No, I haven't. That's an easy question to answer. How tall are you? 5'4". 5'4". That's it. Can you watch the opening theme to the Wildcats cartoon? If it's on YouTube and if I don't get super copyright struck for watching it, maybe. Okay, I think this is the intro. Let's see if it'll work without me getting super copyright struck. Oh my god. Just in case. Just in case I get copyright struck. Oh my god, this is so G.I. Joe aesthetics. It looks good.
Is the fact so we got power to the matching of what command snails, but all else fails call. There's a steel
they're trying to take inspiration from X-Men. But it looks cool, you know, like, is it really a bad thing to have a lot of different cool stuff? To have, like, a wider selection of cool things to watch? I would say no, not a bad thing. Peak 90s, yeah. Jim Lee. YouTube, leave the moderation work to me. Dannphan and other listed mods. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's just not... I hope that's not actually a thing that they're trying to push, is that now moderators are useless and now YouTube AI is just gonna ban stuff for you. It's like kinda presumptuous, YouTube. I don't have any problem with Dark Angel. I don't... What's the issue with that? Yeah, Wildcats from Image. Extreme. Exactly, right? When I use word dark, it gets censored? Why would they censor the word dark? YouTube, stop being weird. Stop being weird, YouTube. Very strange. Alright, guys. That's gonna end the Friday with Dannphan for this week. But thanks for tuning in, as usual. We did talk about a few interesting things. You guys gave me some recommendations for some fun 90s and early 2000s shows, as it turns out. So thank you for those. I guess I'll see you next Friday, maybe? Unless I'm setting up. If I'm going to set up for Garden State Comic Fest, I won't be here, maybe. But assuming that I get set up on Saturday instead, or find an earlier time to do all that nonsense, I will be here. So, 50-50 chance we have Friday with Dannphan next week. Stay tuned, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Go with your family.